Episode 2. The Divorced Man with a Broken Smile. He wasn't the type Isioma usually noticed. No flash, no flirt, no forced charm. Just a man with tired eyes and a smile that looked like it had forgotten how to be happy. "Didn't think I'd see you again," Chuka said, smiling slightly. "Me neither," Isioma replied as she sat down. She wasn't sure why she came back. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was fate. Or maybe she was just tired of running from what if. Chuka wasn't in the market for attention. In fact, he'd spent the last 2 years hiding. After a messy divorce and a custody battle that drained both his wallet and his hope, he had retreated into his world: work, gym, church, sleep, repeat. But something about Isioma pulled him out of his safe routine. "You don't talk like a man who's trying to impress someone," Isioma said lightly. "I stopped performing a long time ago," Chuka replied. "What happened?" Isioma asked. Chuka shrugged and said, "Life, marriage, divorce, lessons." She noticed how he avoided eye contact when he said divorce. But he didn't speak like a victim. He spoke like a man who'd done some healing, and still had a little more to do. He wasn't perfect. He was real. And after years of pretense, that alone felt sacred to her. The papers were signed. The house was quiet. His daughter only visited on weekends. And his heart was loud with guilt. He had once loved deeply, but love hadn't been enough to hold it together. Isioma asked, "If you had another chance, would you get married again?" After a long silence, Chuka answered, "Only if she sees my scars and doesn't flinch." That night, Isioma wrote in her journal, "He doesn't wear cologne or speak in poetry, but there's something gentle about his sadness that feels like home." Sometimes, the most broken hearts teach the deepest love. In the next episode of Red Flags and Roses, feelings begin to grow, but fear rises faster. Can Isioma let herself feel again, or will she retreat into safety once more? Episode 3. This time, she let herself feel. Love isn't always loud. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it waits for permission. "Today was unexpectedly nice. Sleep well, Chuka," Isioma said thoughtfully. She deleted it. Typed again. "You have a quiet way of making people feel safe. Thank you," Isioma wrote, her tone still thoughtful. Deleted again. She sighed and whispered, "Why am I like this?" Isioma wasn't afraid of being alone. She was afraid of feeling something that might disappear again. Because when you've been almost loved, your heart forgets how to be fully open. Isioma's message. "Let's grab coffee again. I don't mind the awkward silences anymore." Chuka smiled at her message. "Who says they were awkward?" Chuka teased playfully. He tells her about his daughter. She tells him about her celibacy. The air is honest, unfiltered. "You chose to wait?" Chuka asked, curious. "I chose to heal." "There's a difference," Isioma replied firmly. "And what if I'm not fully healed?" Chuka said softly, "Then maybe we can grow into something slow. Something that doesn't demand perfection," Isioma answered understandingly. She wasn't looking for butterflies. She wanted consistency, safety, but slowly. The butterflies showed up anyway. "God, if this is peace pretending to be chaos, reveal it. But if it's real, give me the courage to stay," Isioma prayed. This time, she wasn't rushing. She wasn't chasing. She was just letting herself feel. And somehow, that made all the difference. Healing doesn't always come before love. Sometimes love helps you finish the healing. In the next episode of Red Flags and Roses, a ghost from the past threatens the fragile peace they're building. Will Isioma stay anchored or be swept away by old doubts? Sometimes love doesn't knock. Sometimes it tiptoes in while your wounds are still open. And sometimes the past walks in without warning. They're sharing a laugh in the poetry aisle. It's light, fun, Safe. Then, a voice behind them freezes the moment. Wow, Chuka. Didn't expect to see you here, a woman said from off-screen. They turn. It's Nkechi, Chuka's ex-wife. Beautiful, composed, too calm. Isioma steps back instinctively. Chuka looks like someone just unplugged his lungs. You can forgive the past. You can heal from it. But when it stands right in front of you, it still has the power to shake you. Didn't know you were dating again, Nkechi said, smiling. Chuka replied stiffly, I'm not sure there's a label. We're just spending time. Isioma said quietly, Hi, I'm Isioma. Nkechi responded, I see. Well, enjoy your poetry. She leaves, but the silence she left behind lingers. For the first time since they met, Isioma didn't feel special. She felt like a rebound. Isioma asked, closed off, You still love her? Chuka answered, No, but I haven't figured out how not to flinch when I see her. Isioma said, You said you were ready. Now I'm not so sure. Chuka whispered quietly, Being ready doesn't mean I'm immune to memory. It means I won't let it control me. She doesn't respond. Instead, she picks up her journal and heads for her room. That night, she doesn't text him. Chuka said to himself, Note to self, the woman you're falling for isn't asking for a perfect past. She's asking for your honesty in the present. He deletes it. But he meant it. Love isn't just about who's holding your hand. It's also about who you're still holding in your memory. She opens it slowly. It's Chuka. No flowers, no speech, just him, raw. Chuka said, I don't know what you need from me right now, but I needed to tell you, I'm not going anywhere, even when it's messy, even when it's hard. She stares for a moment, then opens the door wider. The past is loud, but love speaks louder when you let it. In the next episode of Red Flags and Roses, the walls begin to fall, and what starts as an ordinary kiss becomes the moment that changes everything. Episode 5, The Kiss That Changed Everything. Every love story has a turning point, a moment where walls don't just come down, they crumble. For Isioma and Chuka, that moment began with a kiss. You always brew this with cloves? Chuka asked, curious. Only when I'm nervous, Isioma replied, smiling. He sets the cup down, looks at her, long, deep, unafraid. What are you afraid of? Chuka asked, gently. That this might feel like home and still fall apart, Isioma whispered. She didn't mean to confess that, but sometimes the heart speaks before the brain has time to intercept. He doesn't speak. He just leans in, and then it happens. It's slow, intentional, not rushed, but sure. The kind of kiss that doesn't just touch lips. It touches wounds. It tells stories without saying a word. It says, I see you. I want you. I'm staying. In that kiss, years of doubt lost their voice. Her fear hushed. His guilt paused. It was a kiss that didn't ask for anything but presence, and it gave everything. Well, that was unexpected, Isioma teased. Not to me, Chuka replied, serious. So what now? Isioma asked, curious. Now, I show you that this isn't just chemistry, it's choice, Chuka said, serious. And that's when it started. The beginning of something soft and sacred. Not perfect, but real. They cook together, share more vulnerable stories. She sees his daughter from afar at a playground. He helps her rearrange her bookshelves. They begin exchanging good mornings and sleep well, like rituals. We kissed, and something in me woke up. Not lust, not longing. Hope, Isioma said. Some kisses aren't just felt, they're remembered by the soul. In the next episode of Red Flags and Roses, love grows deeper, but so does fear. Can Isioma trust this new reality? Or will her old instincts push her to run again?